Every single day. I mean, millions of people around the world make this huge decision, right, to move.
Yeah, a life-altering decision for many.
I'm looking for better schools, maybe better jobs, or sometimes, just safety.
The usual reasons we hear about, they're powerful drivers, absolutely.
They are. But what if there's something else going on? Something maybe a bit deeper, a need that we all kind of seek out.
That's exactly where this research paper takes us.
Right. So today we're diving into this paper, Gyanpeeth, Building High-Definition Spaces for Local Growth by Shiva Narayan Taxila Page.
And it offers a really fresh perspective on why people migrate.
And maybe, just maybe, how we could help people thrive right where they are, build that growth locally.
Precisely. The paper asks this fundamental question. What if people aren't just looking for a new place, but a specific kind of environment?
Okay.
Something beyond just, better roads or more factories. And it introduces this key idea to help us understand it. High-definition space.
High-definition space. Okay, so let's unpack this. That's our mission for this deep dive, right?
Yep.
Figure out what this high-definition space actually means, look into this model they call Gyanpeeth Space, and then, try to grasp how these ideas could really change things for communities.
And potentially ease that pressure to migrate. It's
Right.
about getting clarity on a really complex human movement.
So when we usually talk about migration, the big reasons jump out, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Economics, political trouble, environmental issues now, too.
Climate change. Right. All very real, very powerful forces. No doubt about that.
But this paper, it pushes a bit further. It asks, is there something more profound underneath it all?
A deeper reason.
That's the core idea. People might be migrating, often without even articulating it this way, in search of these high-definition spaces.
Okay.
Environments that inherently provide clarity, real opportunity, and solid support for, personal growth, learning new things, feeling secure long-term.
So it's like a place where your potential can actually flourish. It's not just possible. It's like actively encouraged.
Exactly. Actively amplified. And the paper contrasts this with low-definition spaces.
Which sound like the opposite. Foggy.
Kind of, yeah. Like trying to see through fog. Opportunities are blurry.
Yeah.
Good information is hard to come by. Finding a clear path feels almost impossible.
Weem too.
Well, educational stagnation, economic hardship, just very limited growth overall. And the really key point here is that space isn't just geography.
It's not just about the physical location.
Right. It's presented as something that fundamentally shapes human potential.
That's a big idea. So to really get it, what does a high-definition space feel like? How would you know if you were in one?
Well, the paper gives us a great analogy to start with.
Oh, yeah.
It says, just as high-definition displays offer richer, clearer, and more immersive visual experiences.
Okay, like a really good TV screen. Crystal clear.
Exactly. High-definition spaces offer environments that are rich in opportunity, structurally supportive, and mentally engaging.
Rich, supportive, engaging. It's about the quality of the experience, not just being there.
Precisely. And it's not just an analogy. The research lays out 5 key characteristics that define an HDS.
Okay, let's hear them. What makes a space high definition?
First, security and social stability. That basic feeling of safety. You need that foundation.
Makes sense. Number 2.
Advanced knowledge transfer systems. So ways of learning that actually work that aren't just passive rote memorization.
Effective learning, right.
Third, effective job readiness programs. Practical skills, getting people ready for actual work.
Okay.
Fourth, clear pathways for innovation and entrepreneurship. Places where new ideas are welcomed and can actually take root.
So supporting creativity and new businesses?
Yes. And finally, number 5, strong mission. Support for individual and community growth. An ecosystem that nurtures everyone, not just a select few.
Wow. That's quite a list.
It is. And the argument is powerful. People often move because their home communities, well, they just lack these defining features. That definition is missing.
So if that's what people are really searching for, these high-definition spaces, the big question becomes, how do we build them?
Right. How do we create them locally?
So people don't have to leave to find them. And that seems to be where the Gyanpeeth Space concept comes in.
Exactly. The paper proposes it as an innovative, sort of groundbreaking model within this whole HDS framework, a practical solution.
Okay, so what is Gyanpeeth? Is it a building, a program?
It's described as more than just a physical place. It's a functional and motor-driven ecosystem.
Functional and motor-driven. What does that mean in practice?
Think of it like a living community hub, a system almost like a machine where learning and doing are constantly interacting, driving real outcomes. It's rooted in something called learnography.
Learnography. Okay, new term for me.
Yeah, the paper defines it as the science of knowledge transfer, and it's based on two core ideas,
Yeah.
brain page theory and motor cognition.
Brain page theory and motor cognition. Let's break those down a bit.
Okay, so brain page theory, simplifying it a bit, is like how your mind organizes information. Think of a really well-indexed book or website in your head, making it easy to find information and connect ideas.
Ah, okay. So it's about efficient mental organization.
Right. And motor cognition is the idea that we learn best by doing, physically engaging with something.
Like learning to ride a bike. You don't just read about it.
Exactly. You have to get on the bike, balance, pedal, maybe fall off a few times. That physical action wires the learning into your brain and body. It's active, hands-on learning that really sticks.
So Gyanpeeth leverages these ideas.
Yes. The
Yeah.
goal is to make learners truly job-ready, self-reliant, and able to adapt to the future, moving beyond just theoretical knowledge.
That does sound like a big shift from how most education works now. So how does it actually deliver this? The paper mentions things like miniature schools,
Right. And cycle-side rehearsal.
cycle-side rehearsal.
Sounds complex.
Let's make it practical. Imagine a miniature school isn't a big classroom. It's maybe just a small group, a pod of learners.
And they're working on a real project, maybe setting up a small community garden or learning basic coding to solve a local problem. They learn by tackling the task itself.
Learning by doing, literally. And the cyclizide rehearsal part.
That means practice, but structured practice. You don't just do it once. You repeat the process, maybe refine it, get feedback, practice again in cycles, like rehearsing a play until it's perfect.
So it really embeds the skill or knowledge.
Exactly, until it becomes second nature, easily applied. And they use specific tools to guide this.
Like what?
Things called the definition spectrum. That helps you clarify what you actually want to achieve, your goal. The function matrix helps break down that goal into concrete, manageable steps. And the task formator helps you structure and actually do those steps effectively.
So these aren't just abstract ideas, they're practical tools learners use.
Yes, tools for learning and doing. It's
Yeah.
very action-oriented.
And the goal is to turn physical space, like that garden or workshop, into what the paper calls cognitive space.
Precisely. A space where thinking and doing merge, where learning translates directly into capability.
The potential outcomes sound, well, transformative.
It really do. The paper envisions a situation where every child becomes a learner and a teacher, and every community becomes a cradle of innovation and self-sufficiency.
Wow. Everyone contributing, everyone learning.
It's a holistic vision, and the potential impacts are huge. Maybe reversing brain drain, reducing that forced migration we talked about, strengthening local economy.
By building skills and businesses right there.
Yes, fostering local entrepreneurship, making communities less dependent on jobs elsewhere, or even foreign labor markets. It makes you think, about those moments when you see someone finally get a new skill.
That spark, yeah.
Right, that spark of self-reliance. This model aims to ignite those sparks systematically across whole communities.
That's an incredible way to think about it. It really reframes the whole migration narrative, doesn't it?
It does.
It's just migration isn't always just this desperate flight from something bad.
It could be seen differently.
Yeah, like if these high-definition spaces are actually present, maybe that energy, that desire for growth can be channeled into local leadership and empowerment instead.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how the study emphasizes that this isn't just about building things.
Not just infrastructure.
Right. It reinforces that migration stems from the absence of these high-definition spaces, and it positions Gyanpeeth as a sort of working prototype. But the crucial point is that real spatial development has to be cognitive and cultural.
Cognitive and cultural, not just concrete and steel.
Precisely. It's about nurturing minds, skills, collaboration, the whole culture of the community. And because Gyanpeeth focuses on that internal development mind, behavior, motor skills, the idea is that it becomes self-sustaining, rooted in the people.
That definitely broadens the perspective. So what does this mean for, say, national strategy for policymakers?
Well, the implications are pretty significant.
This Gyanpeeth vision, it feels like it aligns very closely with goals like self-reliance, inclusive growth, things many nations strive for.
Absolutely. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's just a major shift, moving away from just reacting to migration flows
Putting up barriers or managing arrival.
towards proactive strategies focused on empowerment, building capacity before people feel the need to leave.
So what would that look like?
It touches everything. Educational reform moving from just absorbing information to really building that brain page, that usable knowledge. Skill development focusing on future-ready skills, digital, green industries, you name it. Community empowerment at a deep level.
And this idea of brain gain instead of brain drain.
Exactly. Investing in this cognitive infrastructure could actually help countries cultivate and keep their talent right at home.
There's a quote you mentioned earlier that really sticks with me. The future of humanity depends not on where we go, but how we grow.
In our minds, our skills, and our communities. Yeah, it's powerful.
It completely shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from just movement towards internal development.
It really does. And it reinforces this idea that creating high-definition spaces isn't just a local project, it's a viable national development strategy.
So how can people get involved? The paper talks about a call to action.
Yes, it outlines specific ways different groups can contribute. For educators and school leaders, it's about rethinking their spaces, maybe establishing these miniature schools, turning classrooms into active Gyanpeeth-style zones.
Okay, transforming education from the ground up. What about policymakers?
For policymakers and development leaders, the call is to integrate this Gyanpeeth model into national plans, to actually invest in this cognitive infrastructure, and to shift migration policies, like we said, from reactive to proactive empowerment.
And businesses, NGOs.
Businesses, NGOs, changemakers, they can support these initiatives, sponsor high-definition learning zones, maybe in underserved areas, partner to train educators in these methods, fund pilot projects.
Makes sense. And what about individuals, students, parents?
For students, parents, lifelong learners, it's about advocating for this kind of learning. Practice-oriented, hands-on, encouraging things like the one-day, one-book idea mentioned in the paper for self-directed learning, demanding educational environments that genuinely build skills and readiness for life and work.
So everyone has a potential role to play in building these spaces.
That's the message. It's a collective effort.
Well, this deep dive into high-definition spaces and the Gyanpeeth vision, it's been really, really insightful. It certainly changes how you might think about why people move and the incredible potential of investing in local growth ecosystems.
It does. And it leaves us with that final, powerful thought tying back to the call to action. Because the future is not something we migrate to, it's something we build together.
A really inspiring message to end on. We hope this discussion encourages you, the listener, to think about how you might contribute, even in small ways, to building more high-definition spaces in your own communities.